Wow. Wow. If this isn't the most typical YouTube video ever, I don't know what it is. Anyways, I hope that you're all doing well. I just wanted to make another video and just express my gratitude for each and every one of you and those who even made the effort to comment on my last video. It was definitely not expected, and I just appreciate it a lot. I mean, it's just extremely generous of each and every one of you. It's typically what I've found. It's typically the small things in life that we tend to overlook or underappreciate, which people tend to value the most. And so I just want to say thank you. And it's just incredible. And I want to continue being as genuine and authentic as possible. And so, kind of like I mentioned in the last video, I just want to have some of these videos uncut, unedited, and just have it kind of a raw one take in a way. And I feel like what that allows people to realize as well is that you're able to make mistakes when you speak. It's not a life or death situation. It certainly feels that way, but it isn't. Nothing's going to happen if you accidentally slip with your words, which is, it's beautiful, really, because it allows you to just take the pressure off of yourself and just think in a way that more accurately reflects who you are and what you're really thinking. Oftentimes I feel that when we kind of rush words out of our mouth, it doesn't necessarily reflect what we truly feel or think about a certain situation. At least that's something that I kind of experience for myself. I mean, I'm not the most confident speaker. I'll be completely open and transparent in that way. I definitely I experience feelings of inadequacy, which I'd like to think is quite normal. So I'm certainly not putting myself down. I think it's just part of life that you have to go through and kind of learn and experience. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity that I have to fall short and learn. Being able to learn and having a conscious mind to do so is just something that is absolutely incredible. But one thing that I kind of want to talk about in that way is just being grateful for things. I am extremely fortunate. I have a family that is extremely loving, caring, kind, and they've really just done whatever they could for my family and I, or myself and my brother, and I would actually do the same for them. And so I would like to encourage each of you to kind of just reflect on your life and the relationships that you have for yourself. Do you feel like you honestly, and you can be honest with yourself, like sometimes it's hard to admit, but are you honestly valuing the relationships that you have with others the way you should be? Do you feel that you're doing too much? Do you feel like you're perhaps needing to work a little on it? Where are you in that? And one of the most beneficial things that I've found that comes from being grateful, not only for the materialistic things of this world, but more importantly, the people in your life, is that you are able to naturally feel happier, but you're also able to develop more meaningful and just fruitful relationships with other people when you express gratitude towards them. And to me, what gratitude looks like in terms of for other people and those that you just appreciate, it looks like acknowledging them for the time that they are willing to share with you, perhaps the experiences that they're able to give you that you might otherwise not had if it weren't for them. Just taking the time to actively listen to what they are saying when they are having a conversation with you. Just small things like that, just really not taking a person for granted. It's not always easy, and so that's why I'm saying, like, I'd like you to challenge yourself if possible and kind of just see where things go from it. I've found that being grateful is just one of the greatest gifts on this earth, and it's just something that I haven't always been the best at, but it's something that I'm trying to work towards. And I just encourage each and every one of you to kind of do the same. I feel that if you're able to push yourself and kind of be more grateful for certain things in your life, you will be happier as a person. Generally speaking, that's what I've found. You'll be happier. And something that I've actually kind of been reading about in the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, is that happiness is within. It's not from external conditions, or in other words, it's not necessarily the materialistic things that you possess. It all starts in your mind. And once you realize that, it's incredible. I mean, it gives you the power to become a happy person regardless of your circumstance. It allows you to live the same life that you did today, perhaps tomorrow, and yet if you have a different mindset, it'll feel like a completely different experience, and you'll most likely feel happier. If you kind of remove those positive or negative tags that we place on events that happen to us, you'll actually start to realize that you won't necessarily be carefree, because you still want to be cautious and just careful with how you approach certain things. I guess that was kind of the same way of putting it. You'll just be happier. It really just starts within, and I truly believe that if each and every one of you are willing to push yourself, appreciate others, be grateful for what you have now, you'll just excel in life. There's no doubt in my mind. I believe in lots of you, and you'll have a ton of potential as you move forward in this life. I mean, there are, of course, a lot of struggles, and I know that I was just saying that you shouldn't necessarily call something bad, because ultimately everything that we experience in life is a lesson, and it's something that can teach us how to perhaps be more prepared in the future. And it also just helps us become more aware of the things that we could be doing differently. But I mean, I'm normal, I'm human, I've been going through certain things, and I just hope that no one else has to go through them. I mean, they are pretty bad, but I've definitely learned lots from it. And I wouldn't say that it's all negative, just because it's just something that most people shouldn't have to go through and most likely don't go through. I don't want to go into specifics, but it has just really given me this insight. Of course, it's a struggle and it's kind of painful, but I also just see the value in why I'm being put through the struggle. And this, by no means necessary, is me kind of reaching my hand out and asking for help or sympathy. Not at all. I'm just being as open as possible about my circumstances and how I choose to look at them. You know, it's all about taking a look at those situations that you're perhaps struggling in and kind of seeing where it puts you as a result. You know, what changes took place in your mind? What insight did you get on how you can move forward and perhaps overcome it easier if you encounter that struggle again? And so with that being said, something that I've learned from this kind of struggle that I'm going through is that if you remain so hyper focused on one thing, like it is just the only thing on your mind, and you really just want to work towards it, whether it's a goal, some sort of relationship that you want to be successful in and just have good communication. If you focus on one thing extremely like hardcore and intense, you'll most likely forget about all of the smaller details that you were perhaps insecure about. I know that that probably just sounds so normal. I mean, so weird because it just kind of came out of nowhere. Like that just came out of nowhere. But I'm just speaking my mind. It's these things aren't necessarily like these videos aren't necessarily subject to one topic. It's just whatever I'm thinking. But it's a superpower. It's a superpower. If you can be hyper focused on one thing, like you kind of forget about all the small details that you were once insecure about. You're just so focused and driven on your goal. And wow, this lighting is just getting way worse as this video continues because the sun is going down. It's been down, let's be honest. And the lights are just not the best. But for example, though, about being hyper focused on something, I have been very fortunate to work with some of my friends who are more successful, and they're just really good at communicating. And so they're willing to kind of teach me the same things. And one thing that I've kind of realized is that the more focused I am on the goals that they give me, I guess that's a little bit repetitive, but essentially I just don't feel all that comfortable talking to new people. And so if I focus on these relationship building skills, whatever they may be, these goals that my friends are willing to share with me, if I become so focused on the goal, it's like everything just seems to disappear. That pressure disappears. My fear disappears. I say my fear disappears, but I'm like shaking, like when talking to somebody new. And that's not every conversation. It's just a few. And it's nothing intense, but I'm not comfortable doing it, so it's a little bit difficult. So that's just kind of something I wanted to share with you, is that if you become hyper-focused on your goals, you'll be able to achieve them, and you'll surprise yourself. Or maybe you won't. Maybe you know that you'll get to somewhere if you just put your nose to the grindstone, right? But anyways, this video is kind of going crazy right now. Almost 16 minutes, man. Almost 16 minutes. Anyways, I hope you all have a great rest of your night. And just know that I'm here for each and every one of you. And whatever you're going through, I know that you'll be able to get through it. But more importantly, you'll learn something from it. And you'll become stronger by doing so. So be grateful for those that you have in your life and what you have, and not focusing too much on what you don't have. Just be grateful. Focus on your goals intensely, and remember that happiness starts within, and it's up to you to determine how you feel about certain situations and whether you choose to learn from them or not. Now, it's not easy, but you guys got this, so everyone's got it. Anyways, we'll talk soon. See you later.